Hey look, it's another Tetris review. Hooray! This is Tetris for the PlayStation Portable, or PSP as the cool kids call it, and this is probably the dullest looking version of Tetris I've ever played. That's a great way to start a review of this thing, by saying that the game looks dull. It really does though. Here's the thing, the game doesn't look bad. I mean, in terms of the overall presentation, the visuals have a nice clean look to them, all the information is perfectly visible on screen and easily decipherable, the blocks look decent, the background's easy on the eyes, that sort of thing. It looks clean and that's fine, I suppose. At the same time though, Tetris also looks sterile, essentially comprising the bare-bone visual components for the game and not adding much else to it. There's no option to replace the background with anything remotely interesting, there's no fun or exciting intermission screens in between sessions of play. Even Tetris on the NES and its equally shallow visuals had some clever intermission sequences to light up the place. This, not so much. I mean, this is the kind of Tetris you'd find on an illegal cable box or something. Come on. In any case, Tetris was released in 2009 for the PSP as part of the PSP Minis line of downloadable games. Basically, the point of these PSP Mini things were to offer quick games for relatively cheap prices. And certainly at $5, Tetris is certainly cheap. I guess, I suppose, I don't know. In any case, if you played Tetris anywhere else, you've played Tetris here. Form solid lines using the falling blocks from above to clear them, and keep going until you clear all 15 levels or accomplish some other goal, or, fill the well and get a game over depending on the game mode in question. Yes, in addition to the principal marathon mode, Tetris also has a number of various other game modes to try your hands on. Some of these are straightforward modes such as clearing 40 lines in the fastest time possible, or try to clear lines as the well fills up from underneath, and then you have some oddballs like Scanner Tetris, where you attempt to fill as many lines as possible before a scanner clears them out, or Split Tetris, where the well is split in half and you have to guide blocks within each sector to match lines. It's nice of EA to give all kinds of different styles of play to work with here, but I just usually stick with the basic Tetris game. That works well enough for me. In terms of control, it's the same layout that most Tetris games take on these days. You have two rotating buttons, pressing down to soft drop a piece, press up to hard drop a piece and lock it in place. You use the triggers to hold the current piece and swap it with another down the line. Nothing new to be found here, it's pretty much the same Tetris you've played on other consoles, especially on the current lot. Not much new to be found here, it plays as well as any other Tetris that I've come across at least. So yeah, there's not much to say there. I've already said my bit about the overall appearance of Tetris, very clean looking yet dull and lacking personality. Sound wise it's not much better. The various sound effects used here are just fine, nothing amazing or anything, but they're not annoying. That's the best I could give it. The musical compositions, comprising several melodies of the main Tetris theme, are rather forgettable. They're not terrible, but they're not great either. They're just sort of there. And I suppose that sums up this version of Tetris in a nutshell. It's just there. There's stat tracking and achievements for those who go for that sort of thing. I honestly couldn't care less. Overall, this is a rather serviceable version of Tetris and it plays well enough for the most part. There's a few different styles of Tetris games you could try out here. The overall presentation is clean looking, if not lacking, and it's not much different from what has come before. For a PSP Mini, it's certainly not that bad of a game. If you like your fair share of Tetris on your PSP thing, this will be right up your alley. At the same time, however, this one isn't anything special. It's typical cookie cutter Tetris with a handful of modes and very little personality. It works and plays the way it's supposed to, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't really stand from the crowd for most part. It's sort of just there. I don't know, maybe this was better on an iPhone or something, but in any case, Tetris on the PSP is a good version of Tetris, easy to get hooked on and well worth the $5, but that's not really saying much, is it? There's a bunch of other versions of Tetris out there and they all play equally the same way, so unless you want another Tetris to the pile, and I guess, I don't know. That's all I got, so good night.